FY News. For you, live at 6.
A big story on KSFY Live at 6. They have seen some of the worst a war can offer, but today former prisoners of war received some recognition for their sacrifice with a special ceremony at Lincoln High School in Sioux Falls. KSFY's Caitlin Hadeka joins us live with more.
Kent, there are 63 former POWs still living in South Dakota, and most of them are World War II veterans. They say that no matter how much time they spent as a prisoner of war, the memories don't fade away. But for some, there's one unique aspect that has made the healing process easier.
Okay, like take it down. Can we roll everyone inverted?
Remembering the days and months as a prisoner of war can be painful.
Every day, it's every hour, every minute, and every second. You live in fear.
And the stories can be amazing.
We put a guard down on the railroad tunnel and one on the front entrance, and we were safe from the artillery.
But years after, looking back and finding the few moments of humor makes it possible to move on.
The few funny things that happen in prison, that's not what gets talked about. Or they joke about, sort of just macabre humor.
Surviving former POWs from South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa were also given the chance to tour a new World War II exhibit, but they say sharing their stories is one of the most rewarding experiences.
Last night we were with these guys and their families, and they're all such neat guys, and some of them didn't really want to talk about so much, but once we were together, one guy started talking, then the other guy talked. So
Events like this, when I can contact with other people with similar experience, means all the world to me, because I can get rid of some of these feelings.
Some of the stories told can be hard to share and hard to even think about, but they say there is one thing being a prisoner of war could have never taken away.
when all else fails, even in a really tough situation, and everybody knows this, the last thing they can strip from you is your humor.
The key speaker was Colonel Leo Thorsness, a Medal of Honor recipient and a POW for 6 years in North Vietnam. The POWs concluded the program with a moment of silence for all soldiers killed or missing in action. Caitlin Hadeka, KSFY, live at 6.
Thanks, Caitlin. As part of their weekend celebration, the POWs will be attending a premiere of The War Tonight, a Ken Burns documentary about World War II. The viewing will take place at 7 o'clock in the VA Medical Center auditorium. While some are honoring prisoners of war, others are protesting the current war in Iraq today. Nearly 50 people gathered near the Battleship Memorial in Sioux Falls at noon to protest the war. The South Dakota Answer Coalition and the Peace and Justice Center organized the event after General David Petraeus delivered his report on the troop surge to Congress earlier this week.
We feel that the surge has made things worse over in Iraq. There's millions of refugees, there's a lot of dead Iraqis, and we support the troops by bringing them home.
The protest in Sioux Falls was held as a sign of solidarity for a much larger national rally underway in Washington, D.C. today. Hundreds of war protesters rallied outside the White House demanding an end to the war in Iraq. Rally organizers say the event concludes this evening with a walk to the Capitol. Several blocks away, counter-protesters gathered near the Washington Monument in support of the Iraq War and U.S. troops. Tonight, the war supporters plan to line both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue as the anti-war group marches by. As the rally takes place today, President Bush says the U.S. military is set to start shifting more troops into support roles in Iraq. The new move will accompany troop withdrawals he announced earlier this week. The president says American troops will now shift from leading operations in Iraq to partnering with Iraqi forces. Next week, the U.S. Senate is expected to debate the new anti-war legislation. South Dakota Lutherans